want to hear them address your concerns. I'll start off by opening the floor to your questions and ask the question. I'll repeat it to make sure all the audience can hear it, and then we'll give each candidate, say, a minute and a half to respond to each question. Questions? Yes, ma'am.
My big problem in living here is getting people out to vote. I mean, I've been involved, we've been here 14 years, and I've been involved in various groups and tried my darndest, and we work on the election board and everything. How do we get people to vote?
The question is, how would the candidates encourage people to vote, since that's a consistent problem she sees as an elections board member?
I think the highest percentage I remember in my work was 34% on this system. That's terrible. That's terrible.
Mr. Ross, do you want to go first?
One of the things I think you have to make sure that the citizens are informed. And I know for Cornelius, it may be a little difficult on the county level, but we made sure that we did a publication that we went out monthly, and making sure that we heard their concerns. If they were concerns that came to us via email, we put that in there so it would address the whole community. But as opposed to citizens just come when something happens in their backyard. So getting out, from my perspective, getting out and making sure that you hear the citizens' concerns and getting involved, especially working with the different agencies or different groups such as U-PAC, where they touch a large amounts of people, making sure they're informed and hopefully they have the trickle-down effect to encourage them to come out and vote.
You know, we've stuck mailboxes. We've really worked, those who are concerned. I just don't understand it. What a privilege it is, and we're neglected.
Well, and we see the contrast really globally in nations that never had the right, and now they do, and almost 100% of the folks are out voting. If you look at the primary, we have less than 4% of the voters countywide come out and vote, and thank you, and that's shameful, really.
Yes, it is, really.
I think we as elected officials have to, through our actions and through our policy making and through our public conduct, have to behave in a way that keeps people engaged in the process. When a referendum goes out on whatever issue, doesn't matter for this discussion, and the voters vote one way, and the public officials decide they don't like that vote, and they make a policy or a vote that goes the other way. Whatever the issue is, the example there is simply to illustrate public officials going against the public will, if you will, through a referendum. People disengage when they feel that their elected officials don't hear what they have to say.
That's true.
And it's our job to listen to what they have to say and follow through with our faith.
Yes, ma'am.
My question concerns economic development. I know here in the university area there are many opportunities for economic development. And my question to you is, how would you ensure that minorities and women are fairly represented when it comes to bidding and contracts so that they can be involved in the economy and the economic opportunities in the area?
Certainly. First of all, I would say that we need to make sure that the contracts through the county and the opportunities through the county, the policies, if you will, are followed and maintained. I think as county commissioners, that's our role, and to make sure that those opportunities are available for minorities and women business owners. Because there are a lot of us out there that have great ideas and deserve every opportunity that every other citizen would have, regardless of our gender or our race. That is my firm belief, and to make sure that we as elected officials make sure that the policies that are in place are followed to ensure that that happens.
Mr. Ross?
I would say just making sure those policies from the county level, and not only the county level, and especially if it's public money being used, and the other agencies that may be involved in that process. We did economic development joint venture engineers and the three northern towns, the county, and the state level. So making sure each one of those bodies have policies in place to address the needs of that person, making sure before they award the contract.
Yes, sir.
I'm interested in results, not just process, not just attempts. Doing the best you can doesn't always get the job done. So my question is, given my desire to achieve a result, what's the number one result you would like to get, you would fight for University City? The number one thing you would fight for, and we would hold you to that one thing.
Mr. Ross, it's your turn.
I would say making sure that the citizens are heard and addressing their concerns, if it be growth, making sure that that the county is working with the city council who controls zoning, and making sure they address that and working together.
I wasn't specific enough, not process, end result. Pick a specific thing that you would make happen, not the process.
I would say bricks and mortar.
Specifically, school buildings.
School buildings, yes. And the reason I say that is because North Mecklenburg, whether it's University City or the Lake or Mountain Island area, has been ignored. If you look at the growth projections that go back 10 years, 5 years, all you have to do is get in your car from downtown Charlotte and drive up 5-10 miles of I-77. And it was undeniable that the growth was here. But if you look at the projections that were provided, it didn't correlate. So specifically, bricks and mortar school construction.
In University City,
University City. And District 1 as a whole. Yeah.
But see, with the question, I don't have a problem with it, but it's kind of hard to say schools when you don't control the school board. And the only thing you can do is press the issue, whatever issue you take on to see results, and they have to be measurable to have an end result. You got to know what you're going after first.
We do have control at the county commission level of the money.
But not where it's spent.
Well, in our job too, if you look at bond packages or certificates of participation, the county commission is intimately involved in that process. And that process is how we get to the results and the accountability. And it's my job as an elected official on behalf of District 1 and University City to convey those needs, to fight on the behalf of where those needs are as a county commissioner.
One of the top priorities is realizing that the county is in the human and people services thing. And you could, in terms of healthcare and the making sure that those needs are services, which can be measurable in this area.